Hello, I'm Wayne Anthony and welcome to our channel, Quest, the Search for Truth. And tonight we're joined by physical medium Andrew May. Welcome to our channel, Andrew.
Thank you. Hello everybody out there.
So, tonight we're going to be talking about table tilting.
Spooky.
Ooh. So Andrew, tell us about table tilting. What is table tilting?
Table tilting, table moving, has its history going way back before the 18th century.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's very much about having a table, actually putting your hands on that table, like that. You don't need to force it down, and then getting that table to move to the requests of what you are asking the table to move to.
Okay.
Or the other people around that table are asking of it.
Interesting, because this goes right back to the Fox sisters, who kind of started the spiritualistic movement because they were doing clicking noises, weren't they? They were responding to knocks if you like, or click. And what happened is the spiritualistic movement began from there, really, in the 1800s. And then very soon after that, there were wars and there were lots of things happening, and people wanted to get in contact with their loved ones. And obviously most people that passed away during wars are males, and so people turned to mediums and psychics to find the answers or to get contact with their loved ones. And one of those things was table tilting. So if the table did a certain movement or rose off the floor or moved left or moved right, it meant something, didn't it, Andrew?
It did, very much so. But in the context of that, you actually have to understand, in my opinion, and I appreciate this is Quest, the search for truth, so you search out the truth as you understand it and as you see it. But it's about thinking, well, what actually is causing this table to move?
So come on, Andrew, I've seen you do this. I've seen you work the table, and I've kind of scrutinised you and thought, is he pushing it? Is he doing this? Is he doing that? And I've seen other mediums do it too, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I can't find a rational explanation as to how you do this, because I've seen the table with you lift off the floor and move left and move right. And let's talk everyone through a typical night, what happens with Andrew. So we've been in events and venues, different places, and I'll say, okay, Andrew's going to do the table, and people gather around the table and they put their hands on the table. Talk us through what happens next.
Yes, I can only talk about principles as I see it. The principles is when I've got a group of people around the table, which is incidentally, it's not in the dark.
It doesn't have to be in the dark.
No, this is what I'm saying.
Myth.
Everything in life is about energy. Life in itself is energy. We live on a planet where there's energy lines on that planet.
All around us.
Too right. So when I have a group of people around the table, I have to very quickly gauge what are the energies around that table.
Okay.
And that comes as soon as somebody starts to put their hand on that table. As a psychic medium, I am linking with the energies around them, the energies around that person, that person, that person. So I'm actually filtering the energies, reading the energies, and in some ways controlling them energies.
Well, I've seen you do that.
Yeah.
And, I often think, has he got something big under the table, moving the table?
Oh, I wish.
But people, I've seen you with, I've not been at the table, I've seen you with 4, 5, sometimes 6 people at the table. And I've seen other mediums and psychics do it too.
Yeah.
And the table moves. It moves left, it moves right.
Yeah.
So let's just say that we're in a situation where we've got 4 or 5 people around the table, and one of those people want to ask a question, and it's to do with their loved ones or people that they've lost and moved on to the next world. What happens? How does that work?
I have to know what energies are in that room, what's around that room.
So how do you do that? How do you sense that?
I sense that most of it is within.
Okay.
Most of it is using principles, which is similar to it is this question.
Well, that's understandable.
An energy asked in truth must always answer in truth.
Absolutely.
Not all energies are good, not all energies will tell the truth,
Totally agree.
and not all energies are who they say they are.
So Andrew, as a querent, as somebody that comes to the table
Yeah.
and wants to contact my grandmother or my brother or my auntie or my niece, what happens? I come to the table. You don't know who I want to contact, obviously. None of that is revealed. So we all come to the table. I come to the table. What happens next? Talk me through it.
What happens next, and this is the unknown, because just because you come to the table and you're longing to contact your grandmother or grandfather for answers, or simply because you miss them, doesn't mean to say they are necessarily going to come through for you. We live in a day and age of sensationalisation,
We do. Absolutely. I
Yeah.
completely agree.
but they want to see the sensational aspects
It's
of
an
it.
instant wit civilization.
Oh, that's a
isn't it?
nice phrase of
Everything's an
it.
instant wit.
Yeah, of course, Wayne. Everything needs to be instant. The principles are sometimes the dead don't need to be disturbed.
No, they don't. Absolutely. So if I come to the table and I want to, for instance, know that what was Artella the Hun's favourite cake, how's that going to happen? What's going to happen with the table?
What's going to happen with the table, and it will probably be nothing because you've insulted the energies around there in asking that question. And I would probably say that to you.
Yeah, I think it's a rude question anyway, but that's why I'm asking it.
You know.
But people do come to the table with really ridiculous, stupid questions,
well, they do,
don't they?
and I appreciate that both you, me, and Jude have done many events.
Yeah, absolutely.
When I've been doing this, and I always remember one fellow, and he was the owner of the bar where he was working. It was a private party booking, but he wanted to say, "Oh, you're me." I was pressuring down on the table and making it move.
Oh, well, they always say that.
Of course they do.
Because that's the logical explanation.
It
isn't
is.
They can't say that, you know, it's spiritual energy or it's psychic energy
Yeah,
or it's
and
even
if-
physical energies. You're pushing the table.
Yeah, anything that is outside a person's human understanding
Yeah.
gets belittled.
And those sort of people, in all honesty, if I was pushing the table, I'd rather push you over a cliff. Let's be
Yeah.
honest. Why would I even want you here? Go away, I'd push you out. So,
Too right.
what's there to be gained?
So he was round the table and he said, "You're pushing the table." Straight away, I took my hands off the table. I then linked him to his energy and the energy of the departed that was around him.
Hilarious.
And I said, "Fine, now ask your granddad, who loved Old Spice aftershave, who smoked a pipe, who wore braces and a belt at the same time, to move that table to the question you want to be asking him." And that's a personal question for
And
you.
the table shifted. I remember.
Yes,
that very
and he
well.
was
It
holding
just
that
moved.
table with one finger.
You
Now,
weren't on the table though.
I
you,
wasn't.
You went on the table. You'd come away from the table.
Of course.
And the table went. Woo.
Yeah.
You know.
People listening can make up their own mind about that.
Oh, you have a brain. Use it.
Please, it's your search for truth.
Absolutely.
I can only tell you and explain the principles that I use in table tilting, which are twofold. Sometimes the energy comes from the individual, and sometimes it comes from the energy of people that have departed.
Why can't it come from both? Sometimes the energy just
Of
comes
course,
from
Wayne,
wherever
and
the
it
energy comes
blends.
from. Yeah.
And the skill of a very, very good medium or
Well,
psychic.
do you know, Andrew, in all
that-
honesty, I have seen mediums work on tables and psychic work on tables, and they're like, "Oh, is anybody there? Are you in the beyond? Oh."
Anybody there?
This is not just somebody. I've seen all that, and it just, I'm like, stop. I'm gonna punch you in your hole if you carry on. And I've seen all that, and I've never seen you do anything like that. So I know, I kind of know what is true, and I know what is fake. So if you're gonna do that, just go away. Go away. I'm not interested. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to see it, because I know that is fake. I know from the moment you start. And I've seen mediums, not just you, I've seen other mediums and psychics, physical mediums.
Yeah.
Physical mediums make physical things move. Psychic mediums, or mental mediums as they're known, they channel through the energies mentally of your loved ones, your past. But I've seen you work, and I've been very, very impressed. I'm not easily impressed by people. Andrew, I don't even like you, but he's really good. And I don't understand what he does, but I know it works. I've seen it, and I'm still amazed by it. And I'm going to be one of those people that is going to try and catch you out on what you're doing. I've never been able to catch him out, and that's because I think Andrew's real. So Andrew, thank you very much for coming and talking to us about it.
It's all right, Wayne. We've only really just scratched the surface of all this.
We'll be back.
We will be back.
And if you want to know more, let us know, because
Please.
I'll bring you more. We will bring you more.
There's a lot more to discover out there in your search for truth.
Bye for now.
Bye.